At the end of 2025, Six Flags America in Bowie, Maryland will be closing forever, and all of the rides in the park will be completely torn down. So in this video, I wanted to talk about where I think some of these rides can go, and which rides, which will be most of them, are going to be completely scrapped and never be built again. The reason I say that is because many of the attractions here are pretty old, especially when you look at steel coasters like Superman and Joker's Jinx, which are almost 30 years old, and there's not many steel coasters that are lasting too long. Wooden coasters last much longer because you can replace different parts of it, whereas the steel coaster you kind of have to remanufacture. It's more expensive to remanufacture parts for a steel coaster. So I do think most of the steel coasters are going to be scrapped, but there's a few that I think will stay, and a bunch of flat rides and water slides that I think could or will go to other parks in the chain. So to start out, we'll just start in the front with the water park, and I do think there's a few slides and attractions here that could go somewhere. Me being a Dorney Park home parker and just a fan of Dorney Park, I would love to see two slides come to Wildwater Kingdom, and would really make Wildwater Kingdom a standout water park in my opinion, because it's already a very high level. And that would be the water coaster and the tornado slide. The water coaster it's a fairly small model. I would say it's a bit tamer than most other water coasters that you've been on, but it's very compact. They wouldn't need to remove anything for this. I think back in that area by the wave pool and by Thunder Canyon, I think that area would be great for both of these slides, the tornado bolt or the tornado slide and the water coaster. Other than that, I mean, if you're looking at maybe the family raft slide that Six Flags America has, you could send that to another park. I'm not really sure of a park that would really need that, since most water parks have that, but they could move that one. A lot of the other slides are pretty outdated. You might be able to move the water play structure, but I doubt it. Maybe the half pipe slide in the front of the park, that could probably be relocated to somewhere. But other than that, it does seem like a lot, or maybe even like half of the rides in this park, in terms of the water park, are going to be gone. But that's just my opinion on those slides. Getting into the main park, I think if you look at the SLC, I wouldn't say relocation, but I could definitely see an SLC in the chain receive the trains that they just bought for this ride just over a year ago. I mean, these trains are very new. There are a few SLCs still left in the chain. The ones I'm thinking of right now are like Thunderhawk at Michigan's Adventure and the SLC out at Canada's Wonderland. There's a few out there that could really use these new trains, and I think those would be a great addition to those parks. I do think Roar and Firebird are going to be leaving the park. The chain. I don't think they're going to be rebuilt. Same with Wild One. Very unfortunate, as that is currently the oldest operating roller coaster in America. I don't think the drop tower is going to be relocated. But in terms of flat rides, I do think we will see Harley Quinn Spansanity be relocated to another park. A park I'm thinking right off the bat is Carowinds, maybe back by where the drop tower used to be that they just removed. I think that would fit very well at this park. It's a big flat ride that's really fun, get some good forces on it, and I think it would be a good fit. Another flat ride I could see moving to another park is their Skyflyer, Wonder Woman Lasso of Truth. I could see this going to a park like Knott's Berry Farm, because if you guys remember, they used to have a Windseeker model that then ended up getting shipped over to Worlds of Fun. And I think this would be a good replacement, because I don't think this would have the issues in terms of height and everything that Windseeker would have had, or whatever it was called. I don't remember what it was called at Knott's Berry Farm, but I know it's called like Steelhawk or something right now. Steelhawk. But yeah, that would be a great addition to Knott's Berry Farm in my opinion. In terms of the coasters, the only one I really realistically see going anywhere would be Ragin' Cajun, the kind of spinning Wild Mouse coaster. I think it's a Reversion Wild Mouse coaster. But yeah, I think that's the only one I could see moving to like a small park, maybe like La Ronde, Great Escape, Frontier City. One of those parks I think could receive that. But other than that, there's really not like a ton that I could see being relocated. You could probably see some of the smaller flat rides like the pirate ship and some of these other fun rides in the kids area be relocated. That would be nice to see, actually. But other than that, I think that's really it in terms of ride relocations. I could see a lot of salvaging of trains like Superman, the hypercoaster. It's an Intamin. It just got new trains. So I think that could be sent somewhere. I would pray they would get sent to Six Flags New England, but that's more of a Massachusetts issue. They don't, whatever it is with the regulations, they are not a fan of the restraints on the OG Intamin trains. So that's why they had to switch the trains over, because of an incident that occurred. But I cannot stress enough how awesome that ride would be with these new trains. I think that would be perfect. And then I guess I'm not sure about the long-term plan for Flight of Fear at Kings Island and Kings Dominion, but you could probably salvage a lot of parts from Joker's Jinx for those two attractions, because I know that those are pretty expensive parts, especially the motors, and then the trains. You have, I guess Joker's Jinx really only has one train, so you'd really have to use it for parts. But yeah, I think that's pretty much the extent of what we could see in terms of rides and even just parts of rides being removed and relocated. I mean, maybe we could see Firebird's trains be sent to a different park, just because those are fairly new too. They're not old, and just use those for scraps as well. So I could definitely see a lot of recycling, but relocating and using them as these rides operated at Six Flags America, there's not many. I am fairly sad about this park closing, but it makes a ton of sense. I mean, I went on a Saturday and in the middle of the summer, gorgeous day out, and I mean, the longest I waited for any ride was one cycle, because I didn't get into the station in time and the gates had closed. So this park does not get attendance. It's sad to see, because I do think it's a much better park than people give it credit. I've had about 4 visits to this park, and I've enjoyed pretty much all of them, in my opinion, honestly. And I do think the water park adds a little bit of an extra feature to this park and makes it more enjoyable. I will say it does suck that they decided to make this water park a separate entry ticket. Luckily, I've always had a pass, so I've never needed to buy a second ticket, but I've always thought that's so stupid. Other than the fact that you're kind of weeding out the crowds, you're getting less people in the water park because of the separate ticket, so I could see how that's more appealing. But I don't know, I just feel like the exclusion's a little unnecessary. But then again, look at the park, it's closing, so they were obviously just trying to make money wherever they could, and it just didn't work. And it's unfortunate. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about my opinions on relocations and ride recycling and all that down in the comments. I love to hear your opinions on this. If you guys like coaster content and theme park content, please be sure to like and subscribe. It helps the channel out a ton. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I will see you guys next time. If you'd like to support the channel even more, become a member and receive numerous benefits, such as watching all my videos the day before they release, access to my monthly top 25 coaster list, member shoutouts, and more. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time.